and welcome to Ruckosaurus Rex, the channel where we review dinosaur models and other prehistoric animals. Once again, welcome. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let's get that out of the way. And definitely comment below if you enjoy the video or have any questions, comments, or concerns. And we will once again take care of shopkeeping at the end of the video. But let's get into why we're here. You see it before you. This is the latest offering from PNSO. This is Chuanchuan, the Lingwulong, number 63 in the line. It is, as you can tell, if you know anything about dinosaurs, it's a sauropod. This, to be precise, is a neosauropod. It's a very, very early sauropod. It existed in China. I'm not going to even attempt to butcher the names of where it was located in China. Just know that it is a Chinese dinosaur, Chinese sauropod, known as a neosauropod, as in neo means new. It was one of the earliest. In fact, it was the earliest. It's in the Diplodocus family, Diplodocoid, or however you pronounce that family, and a member of the Prehistoric family too. So you can, if you look, you can see some similarities. If you've ever seen a Dicraeosaur before, you would know they're known for shorter necks, long tails, and as sauropods go, they were kind of small to mid-sized. And this, speaking of size, the Lingwulong grew to about, they estimated they've got about 11 different skeletons. So we have a good idea of the overall anatomy, because fortunately the 11 skeletons have different parts, if you will. So they were able to cobble together a full Lingwulong. So that helps. So estimated between 35 and 55 feet long. I think I stated it was a early Jurassic to mid-Jurassic, about 174 million years ago. So yeah, this guy is pretty old. And yeah, so we even have, in terms of the skeletons, something that's quite rare when it comes to sauropods. We've got a lot of skeletons, a few skeletons that actually have skulls. So we even know how the teeth were. 29, I believe, dentary teeth, and at least one of the skeletons had the teeth in their original position. So we even know how the teeth looked in the creature's mouth. So that's pretty cool, especially when you consider how old this critter is. 174 million years ago. That's no joke. Anyhow, this model is from PNSO. It's part of the Prehistoric Animal Line, and pretty large offering for it to not be a museum line model. Very nice sized. As you can see, the box is taking up the entirety of my screen there. I can see end to end in my viewfinder. So yeah, pretty long. Costly too, especially considering its prehistoric animal, despite its size. About 66, 67 bucks to get this guy or girl. I still don't know what gender they assigned it. PNSO will determine if a species of dinosaur that they make a model of is a boy or girl. And I guess I'll figure that out when I get her open. So speaking of that, let's get that done. Lingwulong, Chuanchuan the Lingwulong, I should say, addressed by name, comes with this booklet, which is standard with all PNSO models. And it's an informative booklet. It has illustrations, as you can see, and other information. And this will give you, like I said, get pictures, different angles, pretty nice. Some pretty nice photos and illustrations with PNSO here. Pretty good. And like I said, they also give information about the animal. Got the head, talking about the teeth and the neck, about the fore and hind limbs, the long tail, whip-like, which is definitely a characteristic of Diplodocus style dinosaur. They, known for their very long whip-like tails. And yeah, so pretty nice booklet to have, very informational. Most of what's written in there is geared towards children, which still amazes me considering the detail and lifelike realism which PNSO puts into their models. And that's not all we get. We also get a poster, and this is just an enlarged version of that very first illustration we saw in the booklet. So you see that there. And that's what we get in terms of the accessories. Chuanchuan is so long that I am going to forego the rotating base segment because quite frankly, I don't have enough room. Her tail will either bump into the wall or into the camera. So we're just going to go as is, looking at her head on, straight on, like we are. Speaking of her size, and yes, Chuanchuan, it is a female, so she will be referred to as such. Speaking of Chuanchuan's size, she measures 18.7, 19 inches. So as always, PNSO scales are they're supposed to scale at 135. So if you do your calculations and convert that 18.7 into feet, it would come out to just under 55 feet. So this represents a 55 or close to 55 foot long animal, which puts this at 135. So this is pretty cool considering it's a sauropod. PNSO and most companies that make models of dinosaurs, whenever they attempt to make a sauropod, they're usually not in 1/35 scale because the sheer size of sauropods makes it very problematic to put them in the proper scale. Cost to the consumer, they'll be crazy expensive. There have been some that have done, including PNSO, they've got a few sauropods when they early on in their existence, made out of vinyl, hollow, anything to cut the cost down, and pretty doggone large. And a Wang of Titan comes to mind, which I do own, and that's so large it won't even fit on the screen. But yeah, I digress. We're talking about the Lingwulong here. As I stated before, it is definitely the earliest known Chinese sauropod and close relative of Diplodocus. They had similar skulls. Once again, the only, the whip-like tail. The distinction is in the short necks, which belongs to the Prehistoric family, of which the Lingwulong is also closely related to. And but that dinosaur came a little bit later on. Anyhow, let us take a as best we can close-up look at Chuanchuan. Okay, getting a very nice up close and personal look at Chuanchuan's skull. You can see the first thing that stands out are the teeth. And anybody that's been collecting or following PNSO, their MO, they don't believe in dinosaurs having lips. So you see that the teeth are out like that. And but I will say that the way how they've got the teeth shaped, they make Chuanchuan look kind of goofy, but that's the way the teeth looked in the skull. So You got to commend PNSO for their attention to detail and to accuracy. As far as the rest of the head looks, you see we've got the little beady black eyes there, and the nostrils. It's got that tinge of orange like red there on them, and some pretty nice detail to the head, nice coloration. PNSO, of course, you know, they specialize in the drab colors, but once again, I don't hold it against them, especially when it comes to large animals. It is still my fervent belief that large animals aren't colorful. So, you know, they're going to be browns and dull greens and things of that nature. So that's what I believe anyway. So like I said, I don't really hold it against them. Some people from collecting other models, especially those that are on premium line, they like and are used to having very colorful palettes, if you will, on their models. Me, I go for the realism. Anyhow, enough of that. We're going to go down the neck. You could see, speaking of the coloration, you could see how Chuanchuan starts off. You've got striping up there, brown striping, and the skin itself is kind of like a darker tan with the darker brown striping. Then as you go down, you can see here that we've got some different coloration there for the neck, so it changes color that way. And as we go further down the neck, which we don't have to go too far because Lingwulong does not have that long a neck, you see some more of that, and then you see some more of the coloration as we're going to zoom out to get a better overall look at the paint on the body there. You see once again the dark striping with the overall color. It's going down. The skin tones get a little darker till it gets to the belly, and the belly lightens up, and you see the wrinkles there from the animal moving. That right hind leg is moving forward, so you've got wrinkles right there, and because the right forelimb is moving forward as well, you see all the wrinkles there. You've got the osteoderms right along the skin in the side there. Some are even in the soft part of the belly there. Looking at the arm, you see this coloration there. Going down the legs, underbelly, you've got scalation there. Once again, PNSO, wonderful with the accuracy with the toes. You see the thumb claws that are sticking out there. And then on the rear, you see the three big claws, and then the two like unclawed toes, both 4 and 5 on the hind legs. Looking at the back there, you can see the skin stretching as the dinosaur is stepping forward, and you see the nice color there. Looking at the top, you've got scoots, spines going right down the middle of the back, and this carries on all the way to the tip of the very long whip-like tail. And speaking of that tail, going back up, you see it starts off nice and thick, and it goes down and tapers. You still have that striping there, and then it changes color. We get like a greenish type of hue with the same black stripes all the way to the very tip, and very whip-like. This is pretty soft as far as the material is concerned, almost rubbery. So also be careful, because it is narrow and whip-like, and because of how long the model is, you could very easily get in a position where you may accidentally snap it. Turning to the other side, looking at our girl there, going once again, we're going to go right down the line, and you'll still see, you know, they're very consistent, still have that coloration on the forelimbs, the top of the forelimbs, the shoulders, if you will. Same thing with the back. You see some more of the stretching. You see the stretching here because the left leg is pushed off on, so you have the stretching right there, wrinkles right there. I just love the the attention to detail to try to make the model look as realistic as possible. You see all this hanging and stuff. So once again, got the cloaca check, and it's clearly evident right there that it has the ability to do its thing in the bathroom. And then once again, going right down, and you see all of that with the tail tapering, turning her around and setting her down right there. And that is Chuanchuan, our Lingwulong. Now, time for some comparisons. This we have our Lingwulong next to another PNSO offering. This from their museum line of a few years ago. This is their Amargasaurus. And Amargasaurus, this is one of the few PNSO models that doesn't even come close to being in scale. They've got a few that are classified as a 1/35th scale, but they're a little bit larger than 35th scale, but they could be fudged in. Amargasaurus here is way larger than 1/35th scale. Amargasaurs were only they were small sauropods, about 30 feet long. So this, even though this is smaller than the I'm about to say the Dicraeosaurus, which is while they're both in the Dicraeosaur family. So as you can see, evidenced by the Amargasaurus short neck, and also has a long whip-like tail. But the Lingwulong, I should say, even though it's smaller than the Lingwulong, it definitely is larger representative than it would be for a 30-foot animal. Anyway, they still look good together. The Lingwulong is still larger, so it can be played off. Next, we have, for comparison, we have the GR Toys Dicraeosaurus, from which Lingwulong is a part of the family. This is also a 1/35th scale model. Dicraeosaurs were estimated to be between 39 and 66 feet, so they could have possibly grown to the same size or larger than Lingwulong. This particular model represents Dicraeosaur on the smaller end, the 39-foot scale. If you were to do your calculations, it would come out to about 39 feet in terms of what type of animal, the size animal it would represent. So these actually go good together. And to give you an idea of what I was talking about earlier with PNSO and their vinyl models from, we'll call it back in the day now, here we have behind, which you obviously can see cannot in any way, shape, or form fit into frame. We've got the vinyl Huanga Titan. And as you can see, pretty big boy. So as you can see, I can't even fit Chuanchuan fully in my my little makeshift diorama here. So we will go with this for our final shot. And yeah, still looks good. Be nice if I could get the actual tail in there. I could actually get all of her in there, but the diorama kind of sort of just ends, and her head would be shown in the part where the diorama just ends. So we'll just we'll rock it like this. So in conclusion here, number 63, PNSO's offering from the Prehistoric Animal Line of Chuanchuan, the Lingwulong, is very, very nice. Very nice, sizable. We have a sauropod at last. PNSO very very liberal when it comes to the sauropods. In other words, we don't really get them, and I can understand why. It would be to try to keep them in scale. It's problematic, so they have to seek out the smaller species, which will still be sizable when you think about it, but to keep them in scale. So I do understand that. I, for one, would spring for an in-scale larger sauropod. There are rumors that they're working on a Diplodocus, right? So or Diplodocus, however you want to pronounce it. I spent most of my childhood calling it Diplodocus, so it sticks with me. But yeah, they're talking about doing that. Let's hope that that's in 1/35 scale. And if it is, then it's going to eclipse Chuanchuan here big time, because this represents a 54-foot long animal, close to 55. And if they do an adult Diplodocus, that's going to be nearly twice as long as this. The Diplodocus was known to grow to about 92 to 97 feet long. Mostly that, it's mostly neck and tail, but still. So that's going to be long. This was nearly 19 inches long, so a Diplodocus is probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 26, 27 inches long. So I'd still sprint for it. And then, of course, there is the cost of that. If Chuanchuan here costs $67, you got to know that the Diplodocus is going to close in on the 80 or more price point. So we'll just have to be prepared for that, and we'll see. Anyway, Chuanchuan here, our Lingwulong, very nice model. I love the coloration. I love the accuracy, especially in the skull with the teeth. PNSO did a wonderful job. It is a Dicraeosaurus, so it's known for those neural spines, which PNSO has emulated very nicely. Very nice whip long tail, tapering, and it's a very nice figure. Once again, it is about $66, $67. You can get it from overseas, AliExpress. I got mine from AliExpress. Ordered it about 2 weeks from the date of this review, and it got to me yesterday, which was Friday, July 29th. And it's on Amazon right now. It's not on Prime yet, so you'd have to go through their stores on Amazon, so it'll probably take around the same amount of time, 2 weeks. When it gets to Prime, you'll be able to get it in a couple of days from the time you order, but we're not there yet. Anyhow, that's Chuanchuan, our Lingwulong, and she will be added to the Dino collection. Another sauropod, a neosauropod to be precise, a Dicraeosaurid, and a Diplodoxoid, or coid, or however you say that word. Anyhow, yeah, she's carrying many titles. One of the earliest sauropods. Happy to have her. Pretty accurate, pretty nice. Please like, share, and subscribe, everyone, to the channel, fledgling young channel, and we're trying to get built up. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, please list them below. Definitely hit the notification if you want to be, hit the bell so you can be notified of other reviews. I've been importing my past reviews from my other station, my other channel, onto this one. Since those were dinosaur reviews, they belong here. So I've been porting them, re-uploads. So give those a peep too, and tell a friend, help this channel grow. So on behalf of Chuanchuan, the Lingwulong, Brachiosaurus Rex, thank you guys. Take care.